is up, guys? It is Too Cruel here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a reggaeton style beat. Now, I haven't made a reggaeton beat probably in like a year or two now, so I thought I'd hop back in the genre with this one. If you haven't had a chance to download my sample pack that's loaded with trap stuff, it's in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay guys, so now let's look at the beat. So the main thing that we have going on is this main melody right here. So this is something that I actually drew in myself just by listening, and I know this is for a fact in the minor key. Now, the significance of the minor and the major scale is minor will be more dark and sinister sounding, where the major scale will be more happy and more uplifting sounding. So if you want to make something darker sounding, just make it in the minor scale. Very simple theory. So what I like to do with a lot of my leads like this is to give it more space and kind of more space and kind of fill up the whole beat. I like to put delay on it. Now, it has most of the usual stuff I like using, like gross beat, like this beat echo and kickstart and all this other stuff that I like using. But the big deciding factor is this delay. Now listen to what it sounds like without the delay. Yeah, like it sounds all right, you know, it sounds cool, but there's just no like stereo wideness or stereo depth to it. But when we add this free delay 3 with these settings right here, with quarter note delay, look at how it transforms the whole entire sound. Big difference. Way big difference. So this main melody, I have some different variations of it where I just cut some notes and do some different stuff depending on whether it's breaking down or building up. Another thing I have is these keys. Now these keys are from Serum 2, and I actually just made these keys. It's basically just a sine wave with some multiple voices and the sustain and release changed onto them. So here's what this sounds like. And this contains a lot of the usual stuff I use, like gross beat. This has the wish wash on it. This is really cool sounding. If you've never used it before, you should try using it. And stereo enhancer and kickstart on it. So these are the keys for the breakdown. Now let's look at our keys number 2. Now this is kind of like kind of hard to explain like how I did this, but what I usually do is I take the main chord progression like this, and I will highlight it all, go to the little wrench and hit arpeggiate. Now, depending on how many notes you put in and how many higher notes you put in into the chords and notes that you add, you will get like this weird pattern, and you can mess with it and get like some really cool triplet patterns, ups and downs, some basically ups, basically whatever you want. You can go in here and pick any setting you want and get any type of pattern you want. You know, flip the range of how many octaves you want to go up, the time manipulation. Since I already did that, let's just listen to what it sounds like. Very moody and very dark sounding. So on this specific one that I have, let's see what I put on this. I'm curious. So it's this insert right here. So it has gross beat on it, the wish wash, kickstart, and the stereo enhancer. Now this is a big deal for multiple sounds. A lot of people and a lot of producers I find will not stereo separate their instruments from the other instruments. Now just listen to what this sounds like on this section without it stereo enhanced. Yeah, it sounds all right, you know, but like it's not as wide and sticks out as much. Now listen to what it sounds like with the stereo enhancer on it. See how it kind of sits at more of the sides of the left and the right? In my opinion, it's a subtle difference, but it's a subtle difference that makes a big difference. So now we have this, and we have the same pattern, but just kind of like with smaller changes, less going on the verse sections, just so it doesn't crowd up stuff. So let's just listen to the whole thing before I cut it again. Very moody. I like it. So now let's look at the main bass pattern. This is the main bass pattern that I have playing with the drums. And what this basically is it's just a Reese bass that I made in Serum with some sub added to it. You can take a picture of these settings and copy it, whatever. It's very simple to make. You can make this in any Serum like synth. Very simple. And then I have a second Reese bass on this breakdown right here. And basically what this is going to do is it gives it kind of like, I don't know, that just more darkish, more droning type of vibe. I'm going to give you some sauce on how to make a Reese bass. So what the Reese bass is it's two sine waves. Oh, my bad. Two saw waves. And they usually will have multiple voices on them, and they will be detuned. Now, one of the big key things into making a Reese bass, especially in Serum with a lot of movement, is on both of these sine waves, you want to mess with the fine tuning. Now listen to what it sounds like without fine tuning. See, it's kind of stale, doesn't really have a lot of movement, but when you actually take these fine tunes and mess with them, you get a completely different movement pattern, kind of more distortion. And the higher you move these apart from each other, the more crazy that movement and distortion gets. Ooh, hear that? So we just wanted a little bit of that, so that's why I've had these both at 12 and -12. Pretty cool tip for you guys. So now that we have that, we will look into this last little piece of instrumentation that is not drums, and it is this Bushla Isol V from Arteria. Pretty much everything in here, all the synths that I'm using are from Arteria. Let's see what it sounds like. So very dark and very moody sounding. So this has my usual delays that I'll put on it. Valhalla Room, just reverb going on, wider again, and then stereo shaper. And then some EQ. Nothing super out of this world. Now, let's look at the meat and bones of reggaeton, the drums. Let's listen to the main basic pattern. Now, these drums are from the No Me Conoce kit. My bad, not kick. you can find this kick on the internet. I mean, this kit on the internet pretty much anywhere. I'm not gonna tell you how to get it, but you can find it. And these are kind of like the main type of drums that a lot of modern reggaeton uses. So the reggaeton is always gonna have this same exact beat in almost all of the songs. I'm pretty sure all you guys know it if you've ever listened to reggaeton in your life. So one thing that makes your drum stand out is little fills and things of that nature. So I have this fill. And you can see I added this little distorted snare right here. And then on the second half, after I have that fill, what I did, and especially a lot of reggaeton beats will do, is they'll mix up the drums, especially the snare, change the snare sound from one of the fills to another section of the drums. And then add maybe like a little bit of percussion, like this little thing. And that's pretty much it for the drums. I have another pattern right here that has another fill in it. And that's pretty much all for the drums. Now, let's just listen to what the whole beat sounds like from start to finish through one verse and one chorus section from the intro. Let's do it. So that is the beat, guys. I want to thank you for watching. If you like the video, like and subscribe. And if you want to download my sample pack, the link is in the description below. Without further ado, guys, enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.